Hey, what is going on, everybody? Dirtfurdler here. Hope you're doing good. Um, got a little bit more Rocksmith Plus news now to talk about. A little bit ago, I put up that video about the ESRB putting out their rating for the game and revealing a song inadvertently out of it. But now we have two more little things to talk about. One, they put out another dev diary, and it's all about like audio-related stuff. None of it seems too new, but it does seem more like in-depth about stuff related to the audio of Rocksmith Plus and what they're working on behind the scenes in relation to that, right? And in addition to that, we also have this other thing to talk about, which is Ubisoft job posting confirms piano content coming to Rocksmith Plus. It's not just going to be guitar and bass, it's also going to support piano-related stuff, so that's pretty cool. So let's talk about that, shall we? I'm going to switch some stuff over here for a second. And we can talk about the piano stuff first. So this is just the Riff Repeater article. I'm just going to kind of read it over, and we can talk about stuff as we as we see fit. But anyway, it says Ubisoft job posting confirms piano content. Crazy, right? It says, hello Rocksmith fans, yesterday some new job postings appeared on Ubisoft's website. This has been happening since the announcement of Rocksmith Plus, but this time there's something a bit more interesting than usual. And as you can see here, there's a job posting for piano content developer, which makes me want to put the side eyes in the chat. Like, oh, what's this? It says, we've seen other evidence of this before release with this article, which was literally talking about, you know, Rocksmith Plus related stuff here too. Music analyst, guitar bass transcriptionist, lyric analyst, stuff like that. Which all makes sense for what Rocksmith has supported before, right? Guitar, lyrics, stuff like that. But piano, that's new, right? That's new. Job description. Ubisoft Entertainment, a global leader in the video games and entertainment software industry, is currently seeking a piano content developer for Rocksmith Plus. We are looking for a talented, motivated, and experienced person to help establish and grow the future of an innovative music game. Qualified individuals are expected to be organized with excellent communication skills and have substantial experience in piano education, transcription, and performance. So, I'm assuming down the line, because I'm assuming Rocksmith Plus is almost released, right? They said 2022, and here we are in 2022. And with the ESRB rating being out, that means we're like a few months away from release. So maybe the game is going to launch soon, like this spring, perhaps, or like early summer. And then later on down the road, maybe we'll see like a expansion or a patch of some kind of extra thing involving playing piano or keyboard or whatever, right? That's so cool that they're doing this. And here's some really detailed stuff on what the job would entail if you were to, you know, apply to do the piano stuff for Rocksmith Plus. It says, help to develop a music education curriculum that is suitable for beginner, intermediate, and advanced piano players in both classical and modern piano styles. Compose or record custom Ubisoft created lesson and song content. So they're literally going to make like piano lessons. You're going to be able to play piano charts. It's going to be like it's going to be like Pro Keys and Rock Band 3, right? You guys remember that? But, you know, way more fleshed out and stuff. And yeah, it's just your typical UA to report bugs, review chord chart arrangements. Makes you wonder if there will also be, because you know how on guitar they're doing chord charts and then also like more accurate to the recording charts in Rocksmith Plus. I'm assuming they might do the same thing with the piano stuff. Maybe this will also allow charts to exist for songs that don't have piano in them, right? Just the basic chords you can play along with. You know, the possibilities are endless, right? So pretty crazy to think about. Yeah, assist in the moderation of community-submitted musical arrangements, so that means it'll be in the Rocksmith workshop as well. You'll probably get to make your own piano arrangements and stuff. And this is all the things that it would require of a person with such a job. Understanding of piano and multiple musical genres, experience in music education, you know, stuff like that. So, that's pretty cool, right? Like I said, this obviously wouldn't be the first time that piano or keyboard would make its way into a rhythm game. Rock Band 3 Pro Keys comes to mind. I always wanted to get good at pro keys in Rock Band 3, but I never really. And the most advanced thing I learned was the "Take on Me" the riff. Da 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 ba da 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 da. I remember I got that down for a hot minute, but if you put a keyboard in front of me today, I think I completely forgot how to play it. But because I was always more interested in guitar and stuff, and then Rocksmith came along, and rest is history. But I have always wanted to learn the piano in some shape or form, whether that be at the basic level or who knows, with Rocksmith Plus coming out with piano stuff. This is really exciting for the possibilities, right? So yeah, pretty crazy stuff here. Here's some other games. Here's Rock Band 3, obviously. Phase Shift, which is a Rock Band clone basically for PC. And what was this game called? Synthesia. This is a pretty popular piano program. I see a lot of YouTube videos of like famous songs transcribed for this game. So it's going to be something in the vein of this, I'm assuming. But however Ubisoft is going to put their own little spin on it, right? So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below, and we can talk about that a little more too. Here's the other big Rocksmith Plus thingamajig we can talk about. They finally put out another developer diary. This is the first one they put out in, I don't even know how many months. It's been a while now. Like I was saying at the beginning, this one is about audio-related stuff, the audio behind-the-scenes work that goes into this game, so we can kind of look over this and read through it and talk about it. It says, during the Rocksmith Plus beta, we received invaluable feedback from you, our users, on the state of the audio and note detection side of the Rocksmith experience. Some of this feedback was positive, some was critical, and we made sure to take all of it to heart. We poured through the Discord and forum going through your feedback. The direct interaction we were able to have with many of you pointed us to not only songs, but specific phrases, passages, or chords that were proving to be problematic. Chord detection was terrible in the beta. It was, so strict. To all of you who participated and helped us with your feedback, I want to take a moment to say thank you. It is your passion for this product that drives us forward and helps us to shape the experience. We couldn't do it without you. As such, we have continued moving forward with the things you enjoyed, and we are working hard to improve the issues that were surfaced. The community has directly impacted our priorities and helped us to hone in on more subjective aspects of gameplay related to note detection, as well as our newly added other interface support, and it is on those subjects that I'd like to take a deeper dive today. So yeah. Subject of chords is a really interesting one. We have worked on them a lot. Please don't tell production how much. I don't know them. To make significant improvements over how chords were detected in Rocksmith 2014. There's a fine line that we need to walk between outright detection perfection and feel as a player. We can push the limits of the system so that we need to hear every note cleanly ring out, but the fact is that isn't really how we play guitar. To acquire that level of precision every time not only feels robotic as a player, but sounds robotic too. That was that's exactly what I had a problem with the beta, right? Is both with chords and also with vibratos and sustains. You literally had to play everything like perfectly, or you would miss, which doesn't seem. It just seemed really strict, right? I agree with that completely. It felt really strict and robotic. So while it is our goal to help guide you on your musical journey, be that teaching you from the beginning or helping you hone the skills you already have, we don't want to lose sight of the fact that music is a performative art. Detection needs to feel good and feel accurate while encouraging you to perform and have fun, and therein lies the challenge. That I can see where they're coming from, where they have to, like, you know, walk that fine line and make sure both sides of both aspects of that part of the game is well represented and everything feels the way it's supposed to feel. Our goal in development was to take detection of chords as far as we could to make it as accurate as possible so we knew what we could do and walk it back from there. As many of you experienced and commented on in the beta, chords were strict. We'd walked it back a bit from the zenith of outright perfection, but many of you made it clear that we could loosen things up a bit more to achieve our goal of keeping the experience organic, one that encourages musicality over robotic perfection. So how do we maintain accuracy while loosening up the feel? Through a lot of work, to be completely honest. You were able to give us reports pointing to phrases and specific chords that were problematic, and we went through and played all those songs and hammered away at those chords. Through examining all this data, we were able to determine patterns about what was and wasn't working. That's good. That's good that they looked at that, because, yeah, I was having issues with chords, like I keep saying. With this data in hand, we were able to go back and fine-tune how we were picking notes and chords and the weight that those notes carry. In Rocksmith Plus, if we ask you to play a major chord and you play it minor, we know. This was something we struggled with in 2014, and an improvement we remain committed to keeping. That's true. 20 Rocksmith 2014 was pretty lenient. I mean, you still needed to play the chord how it was charted, but you could kind of cheese it a little bit, and it would still hit. So I can see where they're coming from, where they want it to be a little more accurate, but also not too much. Similarly, if there's a seventh in a chord, we are serious about that color tone. Oftentimes on guitar, a chord will have a series of unique notes as well as some that are doubled. A 6-string major bar chord, for example, has 3 root notes, 2/5, and only 1/3, but it is that single third that really defines the quality of the chord. This third, along with the root note and the bass of the chord, we weigh the importance of hearing pretty heavily, as they are the most defining features of that chord's harmonic function. There's much more going on behind the curtain, but those are some of the factors we consider in balancing musicality with accuracy. That's a good way to do it, right? Make it so that, the most prominent parts of the chord, I guess, are what will help you, hit the note when you play it in the game. We also did a complete reevaluation of vibrato detection based on the feedback we received. We realized that vibrato is an expressive tool in your toolbox as a musician, and to judge you harshly on how you're expressing yourself in the moment is not what Rocksmith Plus is here to do. We were looking for something very specific in this first pass at vibrato detection, and many of you were very vocal about not feeling like detection was hearing you, not enjoying the experience of playing vibratos. Yeah, I hated playing vibratos. Or it was also the other way too, where if it was a long note that wasn't vibratoed and you chose to vibrato it just for fun, then the note would miss that way too, which is really bad. You didn't even have that freedom to play it your own way if you felt like it, but seems like they're fixing that. We have redesigned the system from the ground up, so you can now choose to be expressive in the way that fits your personal musicality. We hope that you enjoy it, and if you don't, tell us! We're listening. They do seem to be listening. I really like that. Now let's talk a little bit about a new feature we added to Rocksmith Plus, other interface support. Supporting other interfaces on PC is a big change for us and a decision that we did not take lightly. Continuing to only support the Realtone cable would have been by far the simplest solution for us, as it removes a variable that we have to develop around. We know there are a lot of places in the world where getting a Realtone cable falls somewhere on the spectrum between expensive and impossible, while other players already have their own hardware that they would prefer to use. We want to welcome all of you into Rocksmith Plus in an official capacity with no third-party solutions necessary. Yeah, there's a pretty common mod you can download for Rocksmith 2014 that supports other audio interfaces that are not the Realtone cable. So Rocksmith Plus is just gonna bypass you having to do that if you don't have access to the Realtone cable. So that's cool that they're making that more, accessible for everybody. For a lot of you, I know the excitement here is going to be ACO support. In Rocksmith Plus, we have implemented native ACO support, not ACO support through any sort of Windows Audio Wasapi translator. Now, there are some positives and negatives to this approach. The biggest positive is the low latency that ACO provides, the immediacy between hitting a note on your instrument and hearing it play back that is so immersive and just feels right as a player. While we have worked hard to optimize the experience with the Realtone cable, there will always be operating system overhead that you just can't get around without integrating ACO support. The potential downside to ACO is that it is by design full duplex. See, I don't know what any of this stuff means. Full duplex means that your input and your output are coming from a single device. It is even right there in the name. ACO stands for Audio Stream Input Output. Okay. Being sure to route all of your audio through a single device is part of how ACO achieves such low latency, so you have to decide for yourself if that's a sacrifice that makes sense for your playing experience. See, me personally, I wouldn't mess with any of this. I'm still just going to use the Realtone cable that I've had for how many years, because it works fine, and I'm not going to mess with audio-related stuff that I don't know how to mess with in the first place. I'm a noob when it comes to that stuff, and I'm okay with admitting it. Other interface support is not just limited to ACO devices. It also works with Wasapi, which is the Windows Audio Session API. Wasapi is Microsoft's low-latency audio solution for Windows. Wasapi brings the flexibility to choose nearly any input and output combination that ACO is lacking, but at the sacrifice of the extreme low latency performance that ACO brings to the table. This doesn't mean that Wasapi is high latency. An optimized setup can hit a round-trip latency of about 25 milliseconds. Round-trip latency is how long it takes from the time you pluck a note on your instrument to when that sound comes out of your speakers. To put this in perspective, this is about the same as standing roughly 25 feet from your amplifier, readily achieved on a good-sized stage, so this is an amount of latency that you could easily experience in the real world with a completely analog setup. Wasapi support means that you can bring a different cable if that is what is available to you, or you can even play Rocksmith Plus with a USB microphone and an upright bass, like the dev team has done. That's interesting. The Realtone cable is also a Wasapi device. There are a lot of options out there in the world, so be sure that any hardware you want to use with Rocksmith Plus supports orientation at 16 bits and 48 kilohertz. So yeah, again, I'm just going to use the Realtone cable myself. You guys can tell me in the comments down below if this stuff means anything to you, and that if you're going to take advantage of using other sources of getting your guitar audio into the game. Let me know. I'm interested to see how many people play that way or want to play that way. For the beta, this feature came in hot, and while it worked perfectly for some, others got connection errors, which is a frustrating experience. The team has put in an absolute ton of work to make the system more stable and reliable than what we were able to show in the beta last July. The engineers working on this feature have tracked down and fixed a lot of bugs, and we have gone so far as to completely revamp the system that connects you under the hood. In addition to stability improvements, we worked on making some feature improvements as well. Many of you noticed during the beta that you were unable to change the buffer size of your ACO device, and I am happy to say that we now support being able to change this from inside Rocksmith Plus itself. That's nice for people who deal with that. The other thing lacking in the beta was a simple way to choose your input channel for those whose instrument input was not channel 1. While there was a workaround for this, it was complicated and obviously not how the feature was supposed to function. We now support changing your input channel from the settings for your device inside of Rocksmith Plus. So they're making it really easy for people to switch stuff around and make it easy to get started, to get playing, right? We have made huge strides in the functionality of our other interface support, but we do still consider this to be a beta feature at launch. While some of us have huge stacks of interfaces on our desks grazing the ceiling, there are simply too many options out in the world for us to test them all. Our focus has been on the most popular devices and the ones produced by our partners, and we will be sure to provide a list of known supported devices at launch. As always, thank you for your support, and we'll be talking to you all again soon. So that's cool that they're doing that for people. I'm sure that's a lot of work to try to, you know, make sure every single, like, common audio interface is covered, right? Because there's a lot out there, you know, so pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. Pretty interesting stuff. Again, like I said, I'm just gonna stick with the Realtone cable because it's what I've known how to use for the last decade plus. But if you guys want to use other audio stuff, they're definitely making that more accessible for everyone, which is really cool because it means more people can play the game. More people don't have to feel like they have to buy the Realtone cable because it can be expensive or just impossible to get depending on where you live, right? So really good that they're handling it that way for people, and everything else he said about making vibrato notes and chord detection more lenient but not too lenient. There is that fine line that they're trying to walk, so they're doing pretty good over there at Rocksmith Plus land. I'm excited to see the condition the game is in when it comes out, because the beta was pretty good as it was back in July, and that was a long time ago, so they've had a lot of time to polish things up and make stuff even better. So whenever this game comes out, whether it launches with piano support as well or not will remain to be seen. I'm excited to see how that turns out. I'll probably look into it. I have an old, it's not even mine, it's my mom's, but we have an old like Yamaha keyboard. I don't even know, it probably doesn't even have MIDI support now that I think about it. I might think about investing in a, you know, modern keyboard, but I don't know. We'll see. Tell me you guys what you think in the comments down below about the potential, not even potential, but the confirmed, basically, piano support for Rocksmith Plus, and tell me how you feel about the audio side of things, because it seems like they're doing some good stuff over there. They're making the game as best as it can be. But anyway, I'm still excited for Rocksmith Plus. I hope you guys are too. Thank you for watching the video. Thank you for going over this with me, and yeah, until next time, be good to yourselves, be good to each other. I love y'all a freaking bunch, and I hope we can see each other again soon. Have a lovely rest of your day or night, whatever it is. Take care, everybody.